This morning, Iranians lining the streets for the president's funeral. A series of ceremonies lasting days. Crowds carrying flags and pictures, reaching out to touch the coffins of Ebrahim Raisi and the other officials killed on a slow-moving truck. Beginning in a city close to the scene of the crash, it will move to Tehran tonight, then to a burial at his hometown. Television reporters reaching the wreckage of the helicopter broken apart in fog and mountainous terrain. This Instagram video capturing the moment rescuers arrived at the crash site. Found it, one shouts. Then the grim reality takes hold.
Oh, shit.
They cry out, pray and sob.
Oh, shit.
Before the helicopter was located, the US says Iran reached out for help. A moment of diplomacy amid tense relations between the two nations. The State Department saying ultimately it couldn't help for logistical reasons. But as news of President Raisi's death brought tears in Tehran, there were celebrations outside Iranian embassies in the West. Raisi was a hardliner who crushed women's rights protests 2 years ago.
Some of the worst human rights abuses occurred during his tenure as president, especially the human rights abuses against the women and girls of Iran. That said, we regret any loss of life.
Iran racing to signal stability. Raisi was talked about as a possible successor to the 85-year-old supreme leader. But it is an opaque process. And an advisor to the government reached in Tehran, suggesting to NBC News he was not an official candidate.
Contrary to what some people in the West were saying, he was not any candidate for the position of leader.
He says there will be no change in foreign policy, while a date for new presidential elections has been quickly set, late June.
So just a few weeks from now. Keir, the world has had a day now to react to this sudden news. Any indication that there could be a shift in diplomacy in the wake of all of this? Any idea?
Well, Craig, this is ongoingly a complex region. That news from the US that Iran reached out for help, according to the State Department, that is pretty stunning. Suggests perhaps there is just the possibility of some kind of diplomacy. Gulf countries here, including Saudi Arabia, have been sending condolences. That suggests an attempt by Iran's traditional adversaries to try to de-escalate. At the same time, Craig, the Kremlin saying that President Putin spoke to the new interim president almost immediately, and the Kremlin emphasizing that Putin has met him many times. That will not be welcomed in Washington, Craig.
All right. Our chief international correspondent, Keir Simmons-Forrest, there from the Gulf. Keir, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.